Have you ever met someone who seems to live in their own little world, always smiling, always dreaming, yet you can shake the feeling that their whole universe of unspoken emotions swirling just beneath the surface? That person might just be an INFP. INFP is often called the mediators, or the dreamers, are known for their kindness, creativity, and idealistic view of the world. They wear their hearts on their sleeves, but what most people don't see is the silent pain they often carry, hidden behind that gentle smile. Today, we're pulling back the curtain to understand the deep-seated struggles of the INFP personality type. We'll explore why they feel so misunderstood, the crushing weight of their own expectations, and the silent battles they fight every single day. If you're an INFP, this might feel like looking in a mirror, and if you know one, this will help you understand them on a level you never thought possible. Let us start with one of the biggest sources of pain for INFPs: feeling like a perpetual outsider. From a young age, many INFPs feel like they're speaking a different language than everyone else, while others are focused on practical, day-to-day things. The INFP is lost in a world of what-ifs and why-nots. Their minds are vibrant tapestries of ideas, emotions, and fantasies. But when they try to share this inner world, they're often met with blank stares, or, worse, dismissal. People might label them as too sensitive, unrealistic, or stuck in the clouds. Imagine being a deep-sea explorer trying to describe the beauty of the ocean floor to someone who has never even seen the sea. That's the INFP experience. This constant feeling of being misunderstood creates a profound sense of loneliness that can follow them throughout their lives. They crave deep, authentic connections, but they often feel like no one truly gets them. So they retreat, hiding their true, brilliant selves to avoid the pain of rejection. Now, let's talk about the impossible standards INFPs set for themselves. INFPs are driven by a powerful internal compass of values and ideals. They have a crystal-clear vision of a perfect world, a world filled with kindness, authenticity, and justice. They hold themselves to this impossibly high standard in everything they do. They want to be the perfect friend, the perfect partner, the perfect artist, the perfect human being. But here's the problem. Reality is messy. People are flawed, and the world is far from perfect. When the real world inevitably fails to match their idealistic vision, the disappointment is crushing. And it's not just the world they're disappointed in, it's themselves. They feel like they've failed. An INFP might spend weeks crafting the perfect gift for a friend, only to feel like it wasn't thoughtful enough. They might have a dream of writing a novel that changes the world, but they're paralyzed by the fear that it won't be good enough. So they never even start. This gap between their ideals and reality is a constant source of inner turmoil and It's like trying to climb a mountain that keeps getting taller with every step you take. The pressure is immense, and it all happens silently, inside their own minds. This brings us to another hidden struggle: emotional overload. INFPs experience emotions with incredible intensity. They don't just feel happy. They feel radiant joy. They don't just feel sad. They feel a deep, soul-crushing sorrow. Their empathy is so strong that they can absorb the emotions of people around them like a sponge. If a friend is hurting, the INFP hurts with them, carrying that emotional weight as if it were their own. While this empathy is one of their greatest gifts, it's also a heavy burden. Imagine walking through a crowded city, and instead of just hearing noise, you feel every single person's anxiety, frustration, and stress. It would be completely overwhelming. Right. That's the daily reality. For many, they often struggle to distinguish their own feelings from the feelings of others. This can lead to emotional exhaustion, or what's often called an empathy burnout. To protect themselves, they might build emotional walls or withdraw from social situations, which can make them seem distant or aloof, further feeding into that cycle of being misunderstood. Conflict is another major source of pain. INFPs are natural peacekeepers. They despise arguments, tension, and disharmony. The very idea of a confrontation can send their anxiety skyrocketing. Why? Because conflict threatens the harmony they so desperately crave. It also forces them to go against their core nature, To win an argument, you often have to be assertive, logical, and sometimes even a little ruthless. These are not a language the INFP speaks fluently. They value feelings and personal values above all else. So, in a conflict, they often feel like they're being asked to betray themselves. Rather than face a fight, an INFP will often go to great lengths to avoid it. They might agree with something they don't believe in, just to keep the peace. They might swallow their own hurt feelings rather than express them and risk upsetting someone else. This is the classic people-pleasing tendency many INFPs struggle with. Over time, this constant self-silencing leads to a buildup of resentment and a feeling of being a doormat. Their own needs get pushed to the side, and they lose a piece of themselves in the process of trying to make everyone else happy. Perhaps the most poignant pain for an INFP is the struggle to find their place in the world. Our society tends to reward paths that are linear, logical, and financially driven. Go to school, get a stable job, climb the corporate ladder. But for an INFP, this path often feels so. They aren't motivated by money or status. They're motivated by meaning and purpose. They want a career that aligns with their values, one that allows them to make a positive impact on the world, no matter how small. The problem is, finding a job that pays the bills and feeds their soul is incredibly difficult. They might find themselves stuck in a corporate job that feels completely meaningless, draining their creative energy and leaving them feeling empty at the end of the day. This is what's known as the INFP grip stress, where the pressure of the practical world forces them to suppress their natural intuitive and feeling functions. They feel trapped, like a bird in a cage, dreaming of the sky but unable to fly. This search for purpose can be a lifelong journey, filled with self-doubt, career changes, and the constant fear that they'll never find where they truly belong. So, how do INFPs cope with all this silent pain? Often, they retreat into their rich inner worlds. This is their sanctuary, a place where they are understood, where their ideals are reality, and where they can be their true selves without fear of judgment. They find solace in creative pursuits like writing, painting, or music. These art forms become an outlet, a way to express the complex emotions they can't put into words. This is why so many great artists, poets, and writers throughout history are believed to have been INFP. They turn their pain into beauty. They create worlds that others can escape into, and in doing so, they make others feel less alone. But this escape can also be a double-edged sword. If they spend too much time in their inner world, they can become disconnected from reality, making it even harder to navigate the challenges of everyday life. Behind the quiet smile and the dreamy eyes of an INFP lies a world of complexity, a landscape of deep joy and silent sorrow. They wrestle with feeling misunderstood, the weight of their own idealism, the overwhelming flood of emotions, a deep-seated fear of conflict, and the existential quest for a meaningful life. Their pain is silent, not because it isn't real, but because it's deeply personal and often too complex to explain. They choose to carry it quietly, protecting others from their inner turmoil while continuing to offer their light and kindness to the world. So, if you are an INFP, please know that you are not alone in your struggles. Your sensitivity is not a weakness. It is your superpower. Your idealism is not naive. It is the spark that can inspire change. And if you have an INFP in your life, offer them a safe space to be their true, messy, beautiful selves. Listen without judging and appreciate the depth they bring to your life. The greatest gift you can give them is the one thing they crave the most: true understanding. If this felt like your story, you'll probably want to see the video on your screen right now.